Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is Fanadian here. I'd like to welcome you all to another video where today I'm going to be talking about what are the Miami Dolphins' biggest question marks coming into the 2021 NFL season, starting with what I personally think is the biggest question mark, which is how much can this offensive line improve from last year, right? Last year, the Dolphins' offensive line was ranked 28th overall, which is definitely not good enough. And I think the offensive line was definitely the main source of a lot of the offensive issues last year, right? Like your offensive line impacts how well your quarterback can play. It affects things like the deep ball, right? How long your quarterback can hold on to the football. It affects your running game, right? If your O-line is not creating holes for the running backs, they're not going to get a lot of big plays. So seeing this offensive line step up is going to be huge, especially the three rookies from last year. Like, how much can Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt, and Solomon Kindley all develop? That's a huge question coming into the season because the odds are kind of stacked against them, as most GMs only hit on about 50% of their picks, and chances are if you draft three offensive linemen in the same draft, not all of them are going to become elite players, even though as fans we all hope for and are cheering for these guys to develop and become great. We'll have to see if that can actually happen or not. Another big question mark is going to be Matt Skura and how he does come in at center. And can he become that long-time center for the Dolphins? This is Brian Flores' third year as the head coach for the team, and this is also the third center he's had. So we'll really have to see if Matt Skura could step up and really take over that center role long-term. I know he has some really good blocking grades in the pass and run game, but he did have some really bad snaps last year with the Ravens, which is why the Dolphins, I feel like, were able to get him. So if he can work on that snapping, that would be great. If he doesn't improve on his snapping, then things are going to be pretty rough for the Finns. Another big question mark is Liam Eichenberg coming in as a rookie, right? How well is he going to be able to perform as a rookie, and where is he even going to play? Because we don't even know necessarily where all these O-linemen are going to be lining up. He played left tackle at Notre Dame. We had Austin Jackson playing left tackle. Are they going to move one of these guys to right tackle? I've seen some people talk about how they think both of those dudes, Eichenberg and Austin Jackson, can also be good guards and can be moved to left guard if that does happen. What happens to Solomon Kindley? Where does he get moved? Do we maybe even see like DJ Fluker come in and take over as the right tackle? Everyone's saying Robert Hunt's moving to guard. He seems to be thinking that he's moving a guard, but we don't necessarily know exactly where these guys are going to be lining up until I'd say really the season starts. We might get a good taste in preseason, but they do talk about how they cross-train all the offensive linemen and how they like to move them around a lot, so we do not necessarily know where all these guys are going to be starting and who's even going to be starting until the season starts in a few months from now. So can't wait to see what happens. That's definitely like the biggest question mark that's going to be answered, I think. Another big question mark is going to be how healthy can these Dolphins wide receivers stay, because they do have some guys who are electric on the field, but that is only when they are on the field, because a lot of these dudes do have major injury questions, right? Will Fuller has never played a full season, except for last year he almost did it, but he got suspended for using PEDs. He is going to be suspended for the first game of the 2021 season. Maybe that breaks the Will Fuller injury curse. That is why he is kind of on a 1-year deal, because this guy is electric on the football field. It's just that he hasn't been on it all the time. Devontae Parker, right? 2019 with Fitz, his like only fully healthy year. He absolutely dominated, but every other year he has been limited by injuries. Is he going to be able to play like he did in 2019 and show us like what prime top Devontae could look like again? Or is he going to have like another hamstring injury or something hampering him for the whole year? Preston Williams, right? 2 years with the team, 2 season-ending injuries. Albert Wilson came in 2018, his first few games with the team, he was absolutely amazing. Had that horrible hip injury, missed the rest of the 2018 season, missed most of the 2019 season, came in at the end there and played pretty decently, but then 2020 opted out. So how is he going to be doing coming back fully healthy here? Now that he's had some time to recover and train up again. Also, it's kind of unfair, I feel like, to put Jalen Waddle on that list for injuries, but he is coming off an ankle injury. I'm fully confident Waddle coming into the season healthy. I don't think he has injury issues, but it is something to mention that he is coming off of an ankle injury, right? Like, I think if these Dolphins receivers are fully healthy, they can be an easily top 10 receiving core in the NFL. It's just if they can remain healthy, the Dolphins' strength and conditioning team, I guess you could say, is really going to have to, step their game up this year and show us that, they know how to keep these guys healthy. They can get them on the right workout plans and diets and stuff, and, stop the receiving core from getting brutally injured, because I don't want to end up like last year where we're just going out there with, relying on dudes like Mac Hollins or like Isaiah Ford, who got traded to the Patriots, cut from the Patriots because he couldn't make the practice squad, and was then starting again for the team at the end of the season. Another big question mark on offense, obviously, this is probably the biggest question for most Dolphins fans out there, and that is, how much can Tua improve, right? We've heard all about the full offseason and being healthy, the custom offense being built around him, the team being improved around him having more time to learn the playbook and be around his teammates, and just pretty much everything, right? Like, we've heard literally he's improved everything, and everything has improved around him, but he is not the first quarterback that's been in this position who was supposed to take a giant year 2 leap, because everything around him has been improved so much more, right? We've seen Baker Mayfield have a sophomore slump. People wouldn't be talking about sophomore slumps all the time if they didn't happen. We've seen guys like Daniel Jones was hyped up like he was supposed to come in here year 2 and completely light it up. R/NFL was talking like Drew Lock was going to come in and be the MVP in 2020, and now everyone's talking about he's being replaced by Teddy Bridgewater, and they want the Broncos to trade for Aaron Rodgers. So you never really know what's going to happen with these quarterbacks. Obviously, if you watch my videos, I'm a Tua fan, a Tua believer. I think he will improve. The big question is just how much, right? Does he improve just from being like a average quarterback to being above average quarterback, or can he come out here in 2021 and become like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? We'll just have to wait and see what he does. I'm hoping and rooting for Tua, just like I'm rooting for every player on this team to come in here and succeed and play the best football they can. That doesn't always happen all the time, but here's, fingers crossed, knock on wood, whatever, that Tua comes in here and just completely dominates 2021. And I've only been talking about the offense this video, so we should talk about the defense. And I think the biggest question mark on this defense is the linebackers. I really wanted the Dolphins to draft a linebacker in the draft. They didn't. So we'll just have to see what happens here, right? Like Jerome Baker, amazing in his rookie year, loved by the fan base. I'm a big Jerome Baker fan. I think he seems like an awesome dude. It's just that he has struggled with adapting to the 3-4 defense from the 4-3 defense he played in when he popped off as a rookie. He did lead the team in tackles in 2020, but he also only had something like a 47 PFF grade. I know you can't just always go off of PFF grades. They're not the most concrete thing. I feel like PFF does struggle with grading Dolphins defenders because they don't necessarily know what they're supposed to be doing every play. But I would definitely like to see Jerome come in here this year and improve and show that he can be, a long-time leader on this defense. The Dolphins also cut multiple linebackers, right? Kyle Van Noy got cut. We traded Shaq Lawson. How are dudes like Benardrick McKinney and Andrew Van Ginkel going to be able to step up and fill the shoes of the players that got released? Emmanuel Ogbah, a lot of people have been talking about the possibility of moving him from being like the 3-4 edge defender to playing outside linebacker when we're in the 3-4. If they do that, how's that going to affect his performance? How much better can he play? Is he going to be playing better at outside linebacker? And then also, Jalen Phillips, the Dolphins' other first-round pick, was a defensive end at the U, but he is listed as a linebacker on the Dolphins roster, right? So is he going to mainly just play outside linebacker and rush the passer, or are we going to see him get some coverage snaps, right? Are we going to be seeing him lining up against some tight ends? We don't really know how he's going to be used. We will get a little taste of it when the preseason comes and we get to see him play. Maybe we'll get some more footage released from training camp that could give us a little taste, a little hint. But a lot of these questions aren't going to be answered really until the first game of the season against the Patriots, where we get to see these Dolphins play. And yeah, that's pretty much my biggest question marks for the season. Obviously, like I said, I think the offensive line is the biggest question mark. How much Tua can step up is going to be huge. These wide receivers, how healthy are they? These linebackers, how good do they play? Those are all just things we'll have to wait and see what the answers are to. you guys watching this video, what do you think are the biggest question marks for the team? Do you think it's Tua, the O-line? Do you think it's something different, like who's going to be returning kicks? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this video. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Dolphins content. And until then, hopefully I see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.